Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to LICD lecture number E. Today we are going to analyze the ideal differentiator circuit in frequency domain, and then we'll build upon the frequency response of the circuit. Okay, so let us begin. An ideal differentiator using Opamp consists of a RF register in the feedback part and C1 register with the non-inverting terminal and the input terminal between them. So this is my circuit of an ideal differentiator. Earlier we have already derived this equation in time domain, that is V out of t is given by minus Rf into C1 into dV in by dt. So this equation is in time domain, and this equation tells us that the output voltage V out of t is a derivative of an input voltage. Okay, so basic function of a differentiator here we can describe it as, if you have a linearly rising input, output will be a constant value. Okay, so that's normally a function of a differentiator. Now, let's analyze the differentiator circuit and derive the transfer function for the same. So the transfer function is given by V out of S divided by V in of S. Now, this is generally looking like an inverting amplifier with the impedance RF, whose gain is RF minus RF divided by XC1. Now, what is XC1? 1 upon SC1. So V out of S upon V in of S will be equal to minus S times RF into C1. Okay. And that's what the transfer function of an ideal differentiator looks like. V out of S divided by V in of S is equal to minus S times RF into C1, which is our equation number 1. Now we substitute S equal to j omega in equation number 1. We will get V out of j omega divided by V in of j omega will be equal to minus j omega Rf into C1. Now if I want to calculate the magnitude of it, so the gain of the system for this differentiator circuit will be, actually it's a differentiator, by mistake I've written integrator. So differentiator circuit will be omega Rf into C1, which is equation number 2. So from equation number 2, if we write omega is equal to 2 pi f, where f is the signal frequency, mod of A will be 2 pi f into Rf into C1. So we can rewrite this equation as 1 upon uh, f divided by 1 upon 2 pi f into C1, which we can substitute easily as Fa. So over here, we can rewrite this mod of A as f upon frequency Fa, where Fa is given by 1 upon 2 pi Rf into C1, which is equation number 3b. And the gain in dB, that is mod of A in dB, will be 20 log to the base 10 f upon Fa, which is equation number 3a. So the above equations 3a and 3b tells us that the gain of the differentiator depends upon the frequency of the input signal. Okay, now let's build this ideal differentiator in LT Spice and check out the result. Okay, so we have considered over here the value of RF as 15k and C1 as 0.1 microfarad. So the formula for Fa will be 1 upon 2 pi RF into C1. That will come out to be 106.1 hertz. You can plug in these values of 15k and 0.1 microfarad. You will get this number, 106.1 hertz. Now let's simulate the circuit and check what are the values. Okay, I have also plotted an open loop op-amp. So this is my open loop frequency response, and this is my frequency response for ideal differentiator circuit. Let me remove the phase plot. Yeah. So the red color one is for the open loop op-amp, and the blue color one is my closed loop op-amp ideal differentiator circuit. So as you can see, Fa is the frequency at which the gain is around 0 dB. Let's calculate that. I'll move around 0 dB point. So over here, somewhere around here, I have 0 dB. Let me expand it and adjust this. So here I can write, let's see, very nearby it is. Yeah. So 106.08 hertz is my frequency Fa. And here, what is the gain? Gain in dB is given by 20 log to the base 10. Let us check that formula, F upon Fa. So F we have considered to be 100 millihertz, that is 0.1 hertz. So F is 0.1 and your frequency is 106.1. So 20 log to the base 10 of 0.1 divided by 106.1 will be minus 60 dB by calculation. Let's see by observation how much it is. So it's the highest, is the starting value of this blue curve. It is around 60 minus 60.51. Theoretically, its value is, okay, wait a second. Theoretically, its value is minus 60.51, and by simulation also the value is minus 60.51. As you can see, it's quite close. And FA is the frequency at which the gain of the ideal differentiator is unity or 0 dB. Okay, so these are all the points which we are evaluating over here. Okay, now this, let me show you all that exactly same graph we have added in the OneNote PDF. Okay, let me minimize this and let me open up the PDF so that it's clearly visible the difference. Okay, so the frequency response over here, I've just taken the print screen over here and I've added over here. That's it. It's the same frequency response as you can see. Okay, so let us analyze the PDF part now in detail. Let me just maximize this. Okay, so we have considered RF as 15K, C1 as 0.1 microfarad. So with that, if you plug in the values, you will get FA as 106.1 hertz, and your delta A in dB will be 20 log to the base 10 F upon FA will be 0.1 divided by 106.1, which came out to be minus 60.51 dB. So if we have, after analyzing this in LT Spice, we have the following analysis. Gain over here, which was supposed to be minus 60.51, is actually minus 60.51 dB. And the orange color curve is the frequency response of open loop op-amp, and this blue color one is the frequency response of ideal differentiator. And F is the point at which the gain of the op-amp as a ideal differentiator is 0 dB. So you can mark this point over here, which comes out to be 106, nearby 106 hertz at 0 dB. Okay, and we also see one strange behavior. As the frequency goes on increasing at a higher frequencies, there is an unstable behavior of the differentiator circuit. As you can see, this unstable behavior is depicted in the diagram. Okay, and what is roll-off rate? The rate at which the frequency increases by a decade is called as the roll-off rate. If you can check any two frequency points over here, you will get a 20 dB increment in the gain. Okay, so that you can easily observe over here. So maybe around this, around 10 hertz, the value is minus 20 dB. Around 100 hertz, the value is around 0 dB. So there is, if there is a decade change in frequency, the gain is increasing by 20 dB per decade. So the roll-off rate for this ideal differentiator circuit is 20 dB per decade. Now, this was the frequency response of ideal Opamp differentiator and open loop Opamp. Now, let us see what are the various observations. So from equation number 3.A, 3.B, and this frequency response curve, we've observed the following. So at very low frequencies, where f is equal to almost 0, the DC gain delta A, that is mod of A dB, is very, very low, and its value is minus 60.51 dB. Okay, now why this happens? This happens because the capacitive reactance, which is given by XC1, is equal to 1 upon 2 pi f into C1, is very, very low at low frequencies. Correct? Actually, that should be, actually this is wrong. The capacitive reactance should be very high, because if the frequencies is low, this XC1 will be very, very high. So please pardon for this. This is very high. The capacitive reactance is very high at low frequencies. So what will happen? The capacitor will behave as a open circuit, because the impedance offered by the capacitance is very high, right? So C1 is behaving as an open circuit. So as C1 is open circuit, hardly any input is reaching the op-amp's inverting terminal. This will lead to a very low voltage at the output of the differentiator at low frequencies. So that's why we get this low number, minus 60.51 dB at very low frequencies. Okay, so this is the op-amp behavior at low frequency. This is the diagram which I have drawn. The capacitor is behaving as an open circuit. It's not actually reality mein open circuit. It's behaving as an open circuit because the reactance offered by it is very, very high at low frequencies. Okay, now let us observe from the frequency response. So as the frequency increases, my gain of the ideal differentiator also increases, right? Let us see this point number 3. So the gain delta mod of mod a of in dB of ideal differentiator increases with increasing frequency. So xc1 is given by 1 upon 2 pi f into c1. So as your frequency increases, your reactance decreases, and your gain of the amplifier, which is rf upon xc1, increases, right? So as your frequency increases, the reactance, the impedance offered by the capacitance will go on reducing. And if this goes on reducing, the actual gain of the circuit, which is RF upon XC1, will go on increasing. That's why with increase in frequency, the gain also increases. That's why it is written over here. As the frequency F increases, the mod of A in dB increases at a roll-off rate of plus 20 dB per decade. Because the capacitor reactance increases, F increases. Okay, is this point clear? I guess it is. Now, at F equal to Fa, that is around 106 Hertz, my gain in dB of ideal Opamp differentiator is unity. So here it is 0 dB. How it is? So we know that the formula of mod of A will be in dB will be 20 log to the base 10 F upon Fa upon F. So if both Fa and F are same, then this 20 log to the base 10 log of 1 will be 0 dB. That means at F equal to Fa, the gain of the circuit of the Opamp differentiator circuit is unity or 0 dB. Now, with this, one more conclusion is drawn that F is the frequency at which the gain of the ideal differentiator is unity, and it is given by this formula. F is given by 1 upon 2 pi RF into C1. Okay, so these were the few observations from the frequency response plot and the equations 3.A and 3.B. Now, let us check the drawbacks of the circuit. So the drawback of ideal differentiator, Opamp differentiator is this, that the gain in dB of an ideal differentiator is given by RF upon XC1, which increases with increase in frequency at this rate, at a rate of 20 dB per decade. So from the frequency response of ideal differentiator, at higher frequencies, the differentiator becomes unstable. So that instability you can see over here. So this is the unstable behavior of the differentiator at higher frequency. Because as the frequency increases, it will keep on increasing. The gain will keep on increasing, right? So that is the unstable behavior. So this is one of the drawback. Now second drawback, the input impedance, that is XC1, 1 upon 2 pi F into C1 of the differentiator decreases with increase in frequency. So if frequency increases, the input impedance XC1 goes on decreasing. That means the input impedance becomes very low at higher frequencies. So that means it will create a loading problem. So let's say you have connected one input, and that input has a series input internal resistance. So if the input impedance of the circuit is very low, it will be, sensitive to all the loading effect which is present. So the input signal itself will load the differentiator circuit. So the input impedance becoming very low at higher frequency is a problem, and it creates the loading problem. It also makes the circuit sensitive to high frequency noise. Okay, so at higher frequencies, the gain of the op-amp is unstable. Secondly, at higher frequencies also, the circuit is sensitive to high frequency noise. In summary, ideal differentiator is not suited for high frequencies. So to overcome the above problems, we go for a practical differentiator circuit using op-amp. I hope that these points are clear. So in this lecture, we have discussed the how to derive the transfer function for the ideal differentiator circuit. Then we have seen the frequency response curve, the ideal differentiator, and we have verified that in LT-SPICE also. And we have commented on the observations from this frequency response and whichever the few drawbacks which are there. So that's it for this lecture. Thank you for joining. So next time we'll start with a practical differentiator circuit. So until then, have a good day and thank you.